Okay, the next instrument we want to look at is in the bottom photo here, the Imbabura arpa or harp. It's a zither chordophone adapted from European antecedents. So a very interesting process here where the Spanish and Portuguese might bring harp-like instruments from their countries. And then the indigenous people find them fascinating, take them from the coastal areas, take them up into the highlands and the plateaus, and begin to adapt them, not only their construction but also the ways that they use them and perform on them, so it becomes indigenized. We have a video here of an Imbabura performance by a Peruvian musician. Watch 3 minutes of this video and you get a sense of the sound of this instrument. Now you'll hear a tuning system that's different than the Western even tempered system. It might sound to some ears, if you've got very developed musical ears, that it is out of tune, like he wasn't careful in tuning the instrument. That's not the case. It's specifically tuned to some intervals that are not Western even tempered system. Now at this point, let me tell you once again that we are going to be looking at and listening to a number of different genres that are Latin American genres. Today we're focusing initially here on the folkloric traditions. And some of them have become popular music traditions, and you remember way back at the beginning of the semester we talked about some of the problems with trying to categorize everything as being on the one hand, classical music, a little box for that, a little box for folk music or traditional music, and a little box for popular music. Those boundaries are not rigid. We've talked about that many times, and that is also the case here. So they might have, some of these traditions might have started out as folkloric or folk music traditions, have become popular music traditions, and some of them still might be considered to be more folkloric. Now, just to make a point here before we go on to the next slide, and get into the representative genres from the Andean region, even those traditional musicians you saw in the YouTube video playing the zampoñas, the flute, the charango, they've commodified their music, meaning that that particular YouTube video was taken on the street in an open air market kind of setting in San Diego, and those Andean musicians residing in San Diego and very sophisticated approach to commodifying their music. And I don't think it was in the camera shot right there, but some of you may have seen musicians down at the Honolulu swap meet at the stadium. And they do a similar thing where they have a small sound system. They have the the head mics, and they amplify this and send it out so that it kind of gets out there and attracts people in. Perform their traditional music, and then they have CDs for sale. They have small, like touristy souvenir kind of zampoñas. I have one hanging in my office that someone picked up for me. They have little shaker idiophones. They will sometimes have small charangos for sale. They'll have articles of clothing for sale, scarves and hats and things like that. So they've commodified their culture, and now in America selling them on the free market system. Okay, now representative genres here. We're going to start with Nueva Canción, or new song. It probably is most centrally based in Chile, but also is a genre that's popular in other countries in that region. We have indigenous artists standing up to oppression or cultural imperialism. We have several longtime dictators or quasi-dictators in South America in the 20th century, and these singers were like protest singers. One of them is Victor Jara. You can see the photo, the black and white photo on top. He's a very well-respected singer of Nueva Canción. In some ways, he might be considered the Bob Dylan of Andean South America. There's a song that's discussed in the text that we are not using, El Aparecido, or the apparition, or the ghost, the shadow, and it's a tribute to Che Guevara. And if you don't know that name, Google it, look it up so you know who we're talking about here. Contemporary of Fidel Castro, and someone who is very interested in throwing off the yoke of Euro-American oppression and have self-determination in these Latin American countries. So we will take a look at a YouTube video of El Aparecido. And those of our Spanish speakers, native Spanish speakers, RMs from Spanish-speaking areas, please forgive me for my terrible Spanish pronunciation.
Abre sendas por los cerros, deja su huella en el viento, el águila le da el vuelo y lo cobija el silencio. Nunca se quejó del frío, nunca se quejó del sueño. El pobre siente su paso y lo sigue como ciego. Córrele, córrele, córrela, por aquí, por allí, por allá. Córrele, córrele, córrela, córrele que te van a matar. Córrele, córrele, córrela, córrele que te van a matar. Córrele, córrele, córrela. Su cabeza es rematada por cuervos con garra de oro, como lo ha crucificado la furia del poderoso. Hijo de la rebeldía, lo siguen 20 más 20, porque regala su vida. Ellos le quieren dar muerte. Córrele, córrele, córrela, por aquí, por allí, por allá. Córrele, córrele, córrela, córrele que te van a matar. Córrele, córrele, córrela, córrele que te van a matar. Córrele, córrele, córrela.
Si queremos expresar cómo queremos que sean los hombres de las futuras generaciones, debemos decir que sean como el Che.
Now, the first version was sung by Victor Jara himself, a little slideshow in the YouTube video. But now, going to contrast that with another performance of El Aparecido by Inti Illimani, a group from the Andean region, become pretty well known throughout the region and have done some touring elsewhere outside the region as well. A little concert setting on YouTube here, and kind of contrast the performances and the way they're presented.
Gracias.
Next, within this genre, we have another well-known, well-respected singer, Violeta Parra. And this song is an interesting one because basically it's saying, you know, with their Catholic faith and revering the Pope and the Holy Father, how do these dictators square their oppression, their perpetrating violence upon their people? How do they reconcile that with the teachings of the Christian Church? And so those of you who understand Spanish will get some of that nuance there. And I think for those who don't necessarily speak Spanish or don't understand it well, that the slideshow that's prepared here gives you a little insight as to the topic here, the incongruity of the tenets of the Catholic faith and the tenets of Christianity and the way that the common people are treated in those countries.
Cómo nos habla de libertad, cuando de ella nos priva en realidad. Miren cómo pregonan tranquilidad, cuando nos atormenta la autoridad. ¿Qué dirá el Santo Padre que vive en Roma, que le están degollando y a sus palomas? Miren cómo nos hablan del paraíso, cuando nos llueven balas como granizo. Miren el entusiasmo con la sentencia, sabiendo que mataban ya la inocencia. ¿Qué dirá el Santo Padre que vive en Roma, que le están degollando y a sus palomas? El que oficia la muerte como un verdugo, tranquilo está tomando su desayuno. Lindo se dará el trigo por lo sembrado, regado con tu sangre, Julián Grimao. ¿Qué dirá el Santo Padre que vive en Roma, que le están degollando y a sus palomas? Entre más injusticia, señor fiscal, más fuerza tiene mi alma para cantar. Con esto se pusieron la soga al cuello, el sexto mandamiento no tiene sello. ¿Qué dirá el Santo Padre que vive en Roma, que le están degollando y a sus palomas?
Another cool genre here is the alborada, and this is also from the Andean region. Very nice video here. Please watch. I think you'll thoroughly enjoy this because of the quality of the music and the quality of the video presentation or the visual presentation. We have some dancers, we have musicians in native costumes, but it's very high production values in a concert setting. Some nice lighting effects, and it really resonates well. So what else do I need to say about this? Just that you might look at this video and kind of get a feel that this is maybe kind of a traveling PCC for Andean culture, presenting the culture, but kind of giving a little bit of a, a Hollywood polish to it. Take a look.